Good evening and welcome to another exciting episode of Photo Talk Plus. We have a great show tonight. We've got a giveaway. We're going to be giving away a Canon 5D Mark II. We also have a wonderful guest, and we'll tell you the more details on that. Vivienne Gucwa. Vivienne, how are you?
Hey.
Good to see you. So we're looking forward to chatting with her a bit tonight. And we have a great lineup of panelists. Lotus, you want to go ahead and introduce the crew tonight?
Yes, it'd be my pleasure. When I say your name, guys, tell everybody where they can find you on the web, okay? I'm going to start off with Christina Lawrie.
Hi, you can find me obviously on Google+. That's the most current info. And then my website is shotbychristina.com.
Sweet. Thanks for being on, Christina.
No, thank you.
We have Daniel Enloe.
Hi everybody. Obviously, you can find me on Google+. You can also find me at layeredlife.com. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on. You know, I love how all our panelists go, obviously, you can find me on Google+.
I'm here.
We're here, babe. Okay, you've got Eric Cheng.
Hello, you can find me at echeng.com and obviously on Google+.
Sweet, thanks for being on, Eric.
Thank you.
And we have Mae Hogan. Oh, we don't have her audio. I thought we got her.
audio for Mae Hogan. Well, we do have video now, though. Mae.
But you can obviously find Mae on Google+.
And then, Mae, you keep working on that audio while we keep going on with the show.
We've got Ricardo Lagos.
Hi everyone, you can exclusively find me on Google+.
Obviously. Sweet. And we also have Keith Barrett.
Hi, you can find me on Google+ as well, and on vidcastnetwork.com and keithbarrett.com.
Awesome. Thanks, Keith. Thanks for everything you do.
Thank you.
All right, and that is our lineup tonight. And Lotus, where can people find you?
Obviously on Google+.
Obviously.
But pretty much everywhere else on the web, just Google my name, you'll find me. Also at lotuscarroll.com.
Yeah, even on Pinterest?
Even on Pinterest.
Okay, good. And Vivienne, where can people find you besides the obvious? Well, Vivienne is she there?
She's frozen.
She's frozen.
Yeah.
Vivienne is frozen. So Vivienne, you may have to log out and come back. So we will, a little bit of technical difficulties, as occasionally happens. But we'll go ahead and get started with the show. Mae, can we hear you yet? Maybe not. Okay.
Check 1 2 1 2.
All right. Good thing we do a pre-show to make sure we get all this stuff lined up.
It went well in rehearsal.
It did. It did. Okay, well, I'm going to start off tonight with talking about this camera giveaway. We're going to give away the camera at the end of the show. There's a chat room that's associated with the show, and I see there's a lot of people in there tonight. Hello, everybody in the chat room. And tonight we are going to ask a trivia question at the end of the show, and whoever types the answer correctly first will win the Canon 5D Mark II courtesy of our friends over at SmugMug. So, yes, we have 473,000 people in the chat room. So your odds are good. And the one caveat is you need to be following SmugMug on Google+. So if you're not already following SmugMug, they're a sponsor of our show. They're the ones providing the camera. Go ahead and follow them because we will check. Right, Lotus?
That's right.
So we will check, and then we'll announce the winner live here, and whoever it is, we'll get your info and get that camera out to you. So that's what's going on tonight. But to start the show, the first thing we're going to talk about is big story on Google Plus on a number of posts this week. I saw Colby had a big post on it. but the Canon 5D Mark III is out. Have you guys heard of that camera?
Yes.
You have?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, well, what do you guys think? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What are you gonna get one? Or are you not gonna get one?
I would accept one as a gift.
Yeah. Come on, SmugMug.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
Yeah, they are expensive.
That's what I noticed right away.
$3,500. Geez.
Yeah. The only thing that I was thinking at $3,500 price range was that I wish it actually shot at a faster rate. 6 frames per second you can get on the 60D. I know it's a full frame, and you know the ISO is better, but that's something that I look for in my cameras is a faster burst.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
otherwise, the camera
Who's
looks
buying
great.
it? Who's gonna buy it?
I pre-ordered one. This is Eric.
Okay, so what made you decide to do that?
Well, I've been shooting full frame on digital since 2003, since the 1DS, and what I've been missing for the last couple years is great high ISO performance. In fact, I'm shooting the Sony NEX5, the 5N, instead of my Canons a lot because the 7D just isn't cutting it for a lot of low light. Yeah, so that's why I'm really excited about it. It's what I've been waiting for from the Canon line. I don't need a 36 megapixel landscape camera. I don't shoot a lot of that stuff. And I was on 1D for so long, but they were so expensive that I didn't have two. You know, I had one camera, and being an underwater shooter, I always needed a second body as a backup in case I flood that on that first day and, you know, lose the rest of the 3-week trip. So it's a little more expensive than I would have wanted it to be, you know, to have to buy 2 bodies. But it was pretty much what I was looking for.
Okay. Yeah, the high ISO is a good point.
Yeah, well, we don't have any other options yet on Canon. You know, the only other option we will have is the 1DX, which will be a lot more.
And the autofocus is supposed to be dramatically improved as well. So we go from 9-point to 61-point autofocus. So they took their higher end autofocus and stuck it in the camera, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered one. Actually, I pre-ordered one at Adorama and B&H both, so we'll see who delivers first. In case either of them are watching, I'd love one.
Head to head.
Right. We'll see who's better, right? No. They're both great camera stores. You know, for me, the price seemed like it was a lot of money. That made me hesitate at first. And some of the stuff I could see where it would be valuable. They have, you know, two card slots now, so you can have both CF and SD memory in the camera, which I think is great if you're a wedding shooter and you want to, you know, do backups on the camera while you're shooting a wedding or something like that. If you're just going to go take pictures of the Golden Gate Bridge, you might not need to back that up quite as diligently while you're shooting. You know, the frames per second don't matter too much to me. The high ISO performance mattered a lot. That seems like a step up from the current 5D Mark II. My current 5D Mark II is, you know, I don't know what I have on it. I bet I have 250,000 actuations on it, and they're rated for 150, so it's about time to get one anyways. And I don't know. Those were some of the reasons why I decided to go ahead and buy one. But is it just Eric and I? Are we the only two?
Well, so far, yeah.
So far. Of course,
There are
that's
probably
because
a few more, Scott.
that's because everybody else shoots Nikon, right? No, I'm kidding.
I'd buy one. I don't have the money.
Notice what Ricardo will buy you one.
I know.
Right?
I'm all good.
Yeah, it's like buying drinks at a bar.
Right.
Remember a while back, Thomas, we talked about how many people want your camera. So what are you going to do with your Mark II once you get your Mark III?
Yeah, I've already gotten 2 emails, believe it or not, people saying they want to buy my camera.
I think this is a great giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I don't know why people would want to buy my camera, because it's the most trashed camera
But it's
ever.
Thomas Fox camera.
Yeah, that is,
Collector's item.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems kind of crazy to me. So
You could sign the censor.
Yeah, maybe. That sensor is the dirtiest sensor you'll ever use. So
Yeah, just use his finger to trace his name in the dust on it.
You could always sell it and take the money to charity, something like that.
Yeah.
Just your food for thought, Yeah. That's
I
a
don't
good
know.
idea.
I tend to hang on to my old cameras. I even have my original 5D and my 10D. So I don't know. I like to use them as backups, and so they're good to have around. And plus, I'm emotionally attached to them, probably.
They're going to go in a glass case in a museum someday.
No, I don't think so. so
Right next to your 1 millionth photo.
Vivienne, what do you think of the 5D Mark II?
I'm a Sony shooter, so I think the Canon is great.
That was like a polite little finger.
All right. Okay, fair enough. I mean, it's not a Lytro or anything, but it's close, right, Eric?
That's right. This one right here.
All right, look at that. We have a Lytro sighting.
Lytro sighting.
A Lytro sighting right there. So
yeah.
Eric, of course, works for Lytro, so we're going to hear a little update on that in a bit later on today, too.
Awesome.
So, I like the camera. I think it's a great camera. I'll be buying one. It's a lot to pay, but I think it's a great step forward. I think it's an improvement for Canon, and I'm looking forward to getting one when I do. So we have some other stories. Adobe Lightroom 4 shipped this week. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Does anybody like Lightroom?
I love Lightroom.
Love it.
Yeah, really? I thought everybody here did Aperture.
iPhoto.
Lotus and I had a conversation on a photo walk about Lightroom, how much we love Lightroom.
Yeah, we love Lightroom.
I'm only allowed to use Picasa.
Yeah, you can use Picasa, Ricardo. We won't hold it against you. Actually, Picasa is a great program. I think it's for something that's free, right? It's pretty cool.
It's pretty awesome for free. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to back in the day. I used to use it a lot, just like if I was on the fly and I needed to use something, and I was.
Until Google Plus started, I only used Picasa. Once
right?
Google Plus started, and then I started shooting all the time, and then I moved over to Lightroom finally.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I used to go between using Picasa or McPaint. I'm kidding. So did anybody here upgrade to 4 already?
Upgraded, yeah.
Yeah, we got 1, 2. Anybody else?
No.
I did the demo, but I haven't upgraded yet.
You did the beta?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys think? You like it?
Mm-hmm.
I love the selected white balance, the white balance brush.
With the brush, yeah, isn't that nice? You can change the temperature.
That's really great.
Yeah.
Save you some trouble from having to go into Photoshop to do it.
Daniel, I would have thought of you as more of a GIMP guy.
Oh, thanks.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I think those adjustment brushes are great. They also have clarity now in the adjustment brush, which is nice. I don't think they had that before. Maybe they did. I don't think they did.
The clarity was in there before, but noise reduction wasn't, and that's the one that excited me so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Noise reduction's pretty great. And,
but the clarity slider is better now in the program overall.
Oh, the clarity's awesome. It gives you like this sort of really gritty feel, and
it's way better than it was before.
Yeah, I thought. Well, and also everything doesn't glow. Like before, I'd bump up clarity and things would start glowing.
Yeah.
The halo. Yeah.
So I think that's better. My favorite thing is what drove me absolutely nuts in Lightroom 3 was that your noise reduction and your sharpening features did not render correctly at fill view. Did you guys ever notice that?
So awful.
Unless you zoomed up to 100%.
Right, you had to zoom in to 100%
Yeah.
to see the actual noise reduction. And, I mean, I suppose that's probably a good practice to do anyways, just to check. But for me, I also want to see how it's affected the entire image. And it used to just drive me nuts. There was a way to get it. You had to go into the Lightroom, you had to go into the library mode, and then you had to build one-to-one preview. And so it was just a crazy workaround to see it that way. And so I love that now in the develop module, although ironically in the library module, now it doesn't render correctly.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't care as much about that.
In the library, you don't, because that's not where you're editing.
Because then I'm already done.
Yeah. And what do you guys think of the price? They lowered the price, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, the price is right.
That's the same as the previous upgrade, right? $80 for upgrade.
Was the previous one $80?
The previous upgrade, I went from 1 to 3, and that was $80.
That was $80. Okay, but the program used to be $299, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess for the full thing, it's pretty cool.
Right.
I think it's just the intro price.
Right.
For the new version.
Well, it's a great price.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, I noticed that the price did not go down, though, on BitTorrent. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Nobody uses that horrible, horrible thing.
Well, they had to. They really had to lower the price to, as an answer to Aperture's price.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They did. They did. And also, I think they wanted probably to get a new. I think there's probably another demographic that they reach with that lower price point. I think they got a lot of the sort of pros and semi-pros and advanced amateurs with the last versions, and there's probably a lot of people that are amateurs and sitting on the fence and, not sure, and the $149 price makes a little bit more sense.
Agreed.
Some new people. Oh, well, we found the little puppy dog.
Sorry, I had to try it.
Yeah. Yes, that's fun. We were saving that for the end.
You ruined everything, Eric.
Oh no, it's a little preview.
Yeah. That's cool.
No, that's awesome.
So, the other thing that I've done new, I've started doing new with the new Lightroom 4 is I finally got religion on the DNG stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing DNG now, huh?
I am.
You're not saving RAW anymore.
No.
Me either. Not for years.
I resisted moving over because importing DNG is just so slow when you first import.
That's why I never made that move, yeah.
I mean, I was out shooting this weekend with Sly Vegas and Charlie Blake and Michael Bonacore and Suzanne Haggerty and her friend Christy and my good friend Jay Goody. And when I came home, I had probably 2,000 images. And it took me, I'm not kidding, probably 5 hours to get those, and that's off a FireWire 800K card reader, which is pretty fast.
You want to know how I do it, Thomas? I'll import RAW, and if I want to make edits at that time, I'll do it. And then I have a smart filter to pick up any RAW files. So I'll go to the smart filter before I go to bed, and then I'll just convert all those RAW files to DNG as I'm sleeping.
You do it at night. Yeah, that's probably a better way to do it. I just, I don't know.
So I have a question for those of you who have been using DNG for a long time. Have you started noticing performance improvements with the fast load data and stuff like that? I mean, I did my first test in DNG really just a couple of days ago, and all I did was an export test because I couldn't tell anything else. And it was like 20 or 30% faster. But working in develop mode, do you notice a big difference?
In the develop mode, yes. It's quicker. I believe it's quicker for me.
Well,
that's all that matters, really.
The reason why I made the switch was because I read an article over on CNET that my friend Stephen Shanklin wrote, and he had interviewed Tom Hogarty, who's the product manager for Lightroom, and he was saying that you do get some performance enhancement with DNG over regular RAW files.
Yeah. What, like image performance, or are you talking about?
Well, he was talking about, he specifically mentioned rendering in the develop mode, when you switch from one picture to the next, the load times.
Okay.
But, I imagine that, I imagine that it probably has improvements in other areas, and maybe this is just, maybe Adobe's also purposely optimizing it for DNG because they need to give people those, something to push them over to it.
Well, that's really the only thing that would push me over to it, because I have not been working in DNG.
Right, and that was always I never used it before because people would say, well, you don't have that extra sidecar file, and, I was like, who cares? It's so much slower to do all that conversion work, and, but if the conversion work you can do, Daniel's right, while you're sleeping, theoretically. And so that stuff you can be running in the background, and I'm not going to go back and switch everything to DNG, but I think going forward I'll start doing DNG. I think it makes sense.
The best thing about that smart filter is you can let the program find all your RAW files, and you don't have to sit there and go through it. You just set the smart filter up to find all the CR2 files, and it'll pull up 15,000, and you can just let it run overnight.
Yeah, then you wake up in the morning and like 10,000 of your photos are missing.
Let's hope not.
That's what I'm always worried about too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I love the new my favorite thing of all, besides the noise reduction little pet peeve about that rendering correctly, is I just think the new light sliders, the clarity, not the clarity, the whites and blacks and highlights and shadows, those four light controls are so much better than what we had before. Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah.
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 Well, I do like it. Any other thoughts on the great Lightroom 4?
I'll be getting mine next week.
Next week?
Yep.
I guess there's a 30-day free trial, so you can try it.
Mm-hmm.
It's for free to make sure you like it before you buy, which I always like that sort of thing. I think, the other thing I noticed is that you have to have a fairly recent system. It only works on Snow Leopard and better on the Mac. So if you're still back in the old dark ages, it may not work for you. So, anyways, I love it. I'm using it full time. I continue to use it.
Yeah, I was super happy to be able to import my catalog in there and be done and all the way on it.
Yeah, you couldn't import your catalog in the beta.
No, it was driving me nutters.
Yeah, I heard some people are having some problems getting catalogs imported still.
I did hear that too.
Yeah, so...
It'll all get
Surprised at
sorted
how
out.
fast it was. Yeah, I converted two catalogs which had like 100,000 pictures each, and it was just like a minute or something.
It was pretty quick.
Yeah, I thought it went fast
Super
as well.
fast for that many.
I thought it went very fast. Well, one thing that I noticed that was kind of weird is some of my old presets, when I tried to use them, they went back to the old Lightroom 3 sliders. Did you guys notice any of that?
Yeah, it seems like if you're not using the 2012 process, it goes back to the old sliders.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
It should give you an option to update them though.
Right.
Is that
If you do go to the new process, you'll get the new sliders.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So my old presets, I just click on them and it wouldn't. I got the old sliders, so I guess I have to do something.
So you're saying, Lotus, that you can update your presets?
Yeah, you should be able to go to the new process, right? And it won't show you the old sliders anymore. Like if I open an old photo even that was already in my Lightroom 3 catalog, now that I've imported it, and a photo that I started working on in Lightroom 3, it'll initially give me the old sliders from Lightroom 3 even in Lightroom 4. But there's a little exclamation point at the bottom, and you click it, and it says, would you like to update this?
Okay,
So
Celine.
you'll have to update your presets, though. Otherwise, any preset you apply that, if it's set to 2010 process.
Yeah.
Celine in the chat room says there's a tiny alert icon, and you can pick 2012 process.
Yeah, that too.
So that's I'll have to try that. I hadn't noticed it yet, but it's all still new. So speaking of new things, have you guys seen one of our great sponsors, SmugMug's Camera Awesome?
Yes.
I have.
Yeah, I'm using it.
You're using it.
Let me go check it out.
It's on. It's for iPhone only, Ricardo.
Oh,
Right now.
okay. No, I haven't heard about this.
Well, it is completely awesome. I'm a Nexus sweet Nexus, as Trey calls it, user myself. But I tried it out on my wife's iPhone, and it's amazing. It's the best camera app on a phone I've ever used. And oh, Eric, look at that! Eric's going to take a shot right now live. There he goes.
Yeah, if I can hit the button without doing big button. Yay!
Isn't it like one of the top apps?
It is the top camera app in 55 countries, including the United States.
Amazing.
In fact, it was like I think it was like the #2 app of all apps in the United States, behind like some weird paint draw app or something like that. But that's just an amazing home run for the folks at SmugMug. I played around with it, and it's just it's the best camera app I've ever used. I mean, they just did a knockout job. It's certainly better than Vignette, which I'm using on the Android. I liked it better than what I played around with stuff like Hipstamatic or, I like Camera Plus, but, I think it does a better job. But it's a great app. They've had it. I can't remember how many downloads. I thought they said maybe over 2 million downloads so far.
Yeah.
Wow. It's crazy. I know everybody wants it to ship for Android, but, as do I. It's too bad a lot of the best apps go to iPhone first,
Yeah. I think he said
I don't think that's too bad.
Yeah, right, Lotus. Lotus, did you take this with Camera Awesome?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. Look at that.
Isn't that pretty?
Oh, you took that with that? Wow. What
with
filter?
My iPhone 3GS and Camera Awesome.
What filter did you use for that?
I don't remember.
That's pretty good. I bet that photo would get 200 plus ones on Google Plus. And I bet if you put a silhouette of yourself like in the foreground, it would get 300 plus ones.
So we have to Photoshop that in then?
Why not? So, anyways, Camera Awesome, SmugMug sponsors the show. We are very, very pleased for them. We had Don McCaskill on last week. We also had the developers on. He brought them on for the Q&A session, the guys that actually did the hard work and made this thing. And what a home run from those guys. We're so happy that they're having so much success with that because it's a great app.
Yeah.
And as soon as it's for the Android, I'll be using it every day.
Does the Android support the double function with the 2 fingers, where you can take your focal point and your metering?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know if Android does or not. I mean, a lot of that's a little technical for me, but it's a huge feature for the iPhone folks to be able to set your exposure point and your focus point on 2 different spots.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Wow. I mean, usually, you get it on one, your lighting's off, or you get it on the other, your focus is off. To be able to break it down like that, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, want
There's
all
a little
over
level built in too, so your photos aren't crooked.
We like crooked photos, Lotus.
But I'm really happy for SmugMug, and one of these days it is going to come to Android. Dawn said they're working on something.
Yeah.
No ETA on that, but I also like the pricing on it. It's a free app. Some people have said, well, it's a little expensive if you buy all the filters independently. And Dawn talked last week about maybe they might do a bundled approach, or sell the whole thing for a discounted price or something like that. But I love when you have free apps where you get the basic camera plus some of the filters that you can try out first.
Yeah.
So
it'd be really cool if after you meet a certain price point that you can just get all the filters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Don was talking about, because it doesn't make sense to have people pay, and buy each one individually, and they should get a discount if they buy them all as well. So, anyways, so that is Camera Awesome from our sponsor SmugMug, which it's always great when a really great photography story also happens to involve our sponsor, right, Lotus?
Yes, indeed. Serendipity.
Okay, so. There was another new camera that came out last week, right, Eric?
Yes.
I think you showed us that before. For those of you who don't know, Eric, in addition to being an amazing underwater photographer, is also working for Lytro, the amazing new light field camera. So how are things going? How is the first week looking after launch?
The first week has been great. I mean, it's nice to be able to Well, first of all, we had this, Twitter stream of people with new cameras posting their pictures, which was awesome. I mean, it was so great to see real people, with this product instead of talking to reviewers and media, and that's all fun as well. But it's of course a lot more fun to have real people using it. We ran some photo walks in San Francisco yesterday, and our first customers, the people who ordered it the very first day in October, pre-ordered it, showed up and got to meet some of the early engineers, and Ren, our CEO, is there. And that was, just looking out and seeing like 12 people holding these cameras. All of them had their wrist straps on, and it was a really special day.
That's great. And the camera is mostly back-ordered right now, correct?
That's right. If you order now, you get it in April, May. So our backlog is till April, May.
Okay. And what are some of the creative things you've seen people doing with it so far?
Well, we've seen people. Well, today someone went and shot an iPad 3 with it, or the new iPad, which was maybe not so creative, but he was the first, which was cool. But we've seen people. I mean, it means it's something different for every person. So we've had people, of course, photographing pets. That's a very common thing. But we've had some very interesting use of creative mode, shooting really, really small things in a way that is interactive, and people are just having fun. I mean, I think everybody is there. Actually, a lot of people are trying to get that highly refocusable shot, because there's some that's like an achievement, when you first get this camera, to take a shot that has a huge amount of refocus and interaction. And what's great is the first thing they do is, share it. And, of course, we see all of those shares going out over Twitter because they're all tagged.
And Facebook. Your Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook.
As much, too, right?
Yeah, actually, a huge percentage of my feed is now Lytro living pictures. It's probably, I'm sort of self-selected to have that happen to me.
Not that we like Facebook or anything, right, Ricardo?
It's great.
Yeah, they're all right, for has-beens. No, I'm kidding.
Well, we love to have integration into Google+, and that's something that would be fantastic as well.
Ricardo will make that happen.
Single-handedly.
Yeah.
Hey. So, anyways, well, great. Great camera. I've been playing around with it myself. I've got some ideas for it, and I know Trey has as well, and I'm looking forward to seeing what other people come up with. So.
Yeah, actually, you gave me a great idea. I've been taking shots from this camera and bringing them into, exporting them and bringing them into Lightroom, and then posting them on Instagram. And I'm going to do like 20 of these things and see if anyone notices. And then at the very end, I'll pull them all together into one gallery and say these are all shot with the Lytro camera.
Nice.
Haven't noticed yet.
Nice. Okay, well, so that is a little bit on that. So the next story is the most popular photo of the week. And I'm going to share it here as soon as I pull it up.
I have it up. I can share it. Did you say something? I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. You want to share it, Lotus? Go ahead. There it is. So this is the most popular photo of the week on Google Plus by Karen Hutton Photography. Have you guys heard of Karen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I heard.
Ricardo, have you ever met Karen before?
Just once or twice.
Yeah, she's pretty great. She's a good friend of ours, actually, so we're joking.
No.
Lotus and Ricardo and Karen and I spent a wonderful day, in fact, in Death Valley last year. So.
In our magical automobile.
Yes. So
this looks like the view, like right by our house that she shoots, and it's such an awesome place where she's at.
It's pretty amazing. It's got over 1,500 plus ones.
Well,
I don't think I've ever had a photo with 1,500 plus ones.
Me either, man.
Jeez. But it's pretty cool. I mean, the reflection, she's got everything going for her.
Yep.
So, and I can tell that reflection was not done in Photoshop. It's very, very cool. So, and Karen is in the chat room, by the way. So she can see her own work here. So I love this photo. I thought it was great. Well deserved, and I'm glad to see it. So.
Reflections like that are just so great. And this is so, like, smooth. So pretty.
You know, in the time since you brought it up, she's got 8 more plus ones. So still,
has she?
Going.
Yeah, it's cranking up. So, you know, I think every now and again, you know, I think we had that photo from Joe Azor a few weeks back of the Golden Gate Bridge. You remember that one, Lotus?
Yeah, that was gorgeous too.
Sometimes you get these photos that are just, you know, you look at them and they take it to a new level. And the color, the clouds, the reflections, the natural beauty, everything it's got going for it.
I think they evoke a lot of emotion, you know?
They do, yeah. Karen titled this All Wrapped Up in You.
That's a great title for that.
Yeah, it is. It's wonderful. So, anyways, that was another one. Top photography-related story was actually a photograph. So we like sharing those. So, and speaking of other great places to store your photographs. That was a bad segue.
I was going to say, you know what? That wasn't as smooth as you usually are. You're off the game.
That is incredibly not smooth. Drobo. You heard of him, Lotus?
I have, a few times.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard really good things.
So, what do you think? You like it? You don't like him?
I don't have a Drobo.
Well, I do. And, fortunately, I've got 5. And there we go. I like to show Lotus's reflection there in the Drobo usually. You take 4 drives. Here's the inside. If they're green, they're all healthy. If they're yellow, you need a little bit more storage. If they're red, that is bad. Drive failure. But the good news is, if you do have a drive fail, it replicates across the other drives. Pop it out, put it in, and you're healed. So it's a great way to store your photos. They are a sponsor of Phototalk Plus. Thank you very much. And everybody should have a backup strategy. You know, hard drives will fail. It's not a matter of if, it's when. And Drobos are part of my own backup strategy. I also have a fireproof safe that I keep them in, so that helps with the theft and the fire risk as well. I also keep off-site copies as well. But it's a great first line of defense against hard drive failure. And I've been using them for years, love them, and would recommend them to anybody who is looking for a good place to store their photos. So, anyways, there we are with Drobo. So, and with that, that brings us to the point in our evening where we get to spend some time with our very special guest. Vivienne, are you online with us? I think she is.
She right?
I see her. She's been having technical difficulties. She's been dropping in and out.
Oh, okay.
Vivienne, can you hear us?
Oh, I just saw her blink.
Yeah, she is moving.
Vivienne, blink if you can hear us.
Blink twice if you need help.
Is your microphone? Blink if your microphone's not working.
Well, she was posting earlier that she couldn't really hear everyone.
Ah, okay.
You're not going to make the AOL joke with her? I'm the only one who gets that when I have difficulty?
Well, there she goes.
Well, we lost her. So.
Sorry, Lotus, that's reserved just for you.
We only make fun of you and say you use dial-up.
Well, Lotus, I mean, she's from New York, you're from Texas, right? There's a difference.
Oh, that makes thank you so much.
No, I'm kidding. I love Texas. You know I love Texas. I
do now.
I've shot Dallas, I've shot Houston, I've shot San Antonio. No, I have not shot San Antonio.
Oh, you gotta tell me when you come.
I shot 4th. Are you in San Antonio?
Yes, sir.
All right, Daniel. I love shooting
a big
Austin.
photo walk there in May.
Yeah, in San Antonio.
Yep.
And
The Wrights are doing the America by Rail photo walks, and they're doing one in San Antonio, which is going to be led by me.
All right.
If you need any help, let me know.
Of course. I'll have to come down there and visit you to help get me to help plan it out.
Yes,
Lotus,
sir.
are you in Austin?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I doing Austin?
Are you in Austin? Where are you in Texas?
Yeah, I'm in Austin.
Oh, okay. Are you doing Austin? I'm gonna fly up there tomorrow for South by
A
Southwest.
bunch of awesome people are coming. I'm so excited.
All right, now Eric, are you doing a Lytro photo walk at South by Southwest?
Yes, we are doing a few photo walks, and I have a panel. I'm giving a panel. I don't know how it's a panel since it's only me, but it's apparently called a panel. It's on Sunday at I think it's at 12:30, and I'll be demoing the camera and stuff. Yeah.
What are you doing at 2 o'clock on Saturday?
I don't know.
I think you should join the photo walk with Trey Ratcliffe and myself and Juan Gonzalez.
All right then. Sounds great.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't rain on us.
You know, rain just makes things more exciting. It makes great pictures.
That should be a great photo walk. Last year, didn't he have the biggest photo walk? But he had Guinness World Record.
Yeah, his South by Southwest walk last year was the Guinness World Record for most photo walkers on an organized photo walk. So the goal for this year is to break that record.
He'll probably have Tom Anderson, so he'll probably do it. Right?
That's what you got to have in your back pocket, a little Tom Anderson, huh?
A little bit of Brian Rose, too, right?
Yeah, Brian's going to be there.
Jeez. I gotta get down there to Austin.
2 o'clock
Natalie's
Saturday.
going to be here. Karen Hutton's going to be here.
Ah, Karen Hutton. The wonderful
Oh, yeah.
She says, Austin.
So Vivienne, do we have you back?
Oh.
No, this is not good.
She doesn't look happy pants.
No, we need our special guest. You know, if we can't get Vivienne back, we can't give away that camera. I'm joking. We are going to give away the camera. So
maybe she can call you on the phone.
Eric, did I hear that? Did I see on Google Plus that Topher is going to be working with Lytro?
It's possible. Where did you see that?
He likes to make things up.
I thought I saw that on Google Plus. I thought he posted on it. Maybe not.
It's possible. I actually haven't been at the office very much in the last few weeks, so I have no idea what's going on.
Okay. All right. Well,
I've been traveling.
I probably was not supposed to say that.
We'll be on Google Plus very soon, I suppose.
So I wonder how we get Vivienne. Can we get her on the phone somehow?
You can call people from a hangout.
On her phone?
Yeah, you can call phone numbers. You can dial one person from a hangout, I believe.
Can you do that from an on-air hangout?
Probably.
Where is the phone thing to dial on here?
It would be in the invite button, usually.
Invite button.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm Googling it so we can figure out how to do it.
Jeez.
Ricardo's Googling it.
Does anybody in the chat room know how to... Dave Veffer says only in Hangouts with extras.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The black ones.
He could call you and you could put your phone on speakerphone.
I could try that. Vivienne, if you can hear us, can you type your cell phone number in the chat room? Not the big chat room for everybody, but just for us. And I'll try to call you on your cell phone, maybe. See if it works. This sounds like it's going to be, like, wonky, though.
I've done it once or twice, so it's always a game. Yeah.
This sounds wonderful. You know, this would never happen if we were interviewing Gino Barraza. Okay, Alex wants us to call Alex. Well, let's try Alex. See if it works.
Hey, Alex.
8675309.
It's the song.
That's not going to work at all.
Yeah, she's having serious issues.
She's having
was doing so well.
Serious issues. Keith, can we edit this out in post?
Shut up, this is awesome.
This is awesome.
That's something I want to do. Plus, you have your on-air one, too, you got to edit.
Yeah. So, yeah, which I'm not going to do that. So, has anyone ever taken pictures in New York? Vivienne takes pictures in New York.
Yeah,
I have, but they're an embarrassment compared to hers.
Yeah. We're not going to start putting up our pictures.
Yeah.
Daniel, you were there recently, weren't you? Didn't you hang out with Vivienne?
Yes, I did. Yeah, we had a photo walk across the Brooklyn Bridge together with about 70 people. We went to the World Trade Center and got everybody in and got all of our gear in, which they don't usually let people do. So it was pretty cool. It was a good experience.
Did you get some good photos there?
I do. How about
I don't put you on the spot or anything. You don't have to share them.
No, it's okay. I have some pictures that I've shared here. I'd rather y'all share them because when I share, I'm getting a new system. That's why I'm waiting for Lightroom 4. But when I share from my computer, I usually get kicked out because of my RAM issues.
Let's try.
So I'm gonna give somebody a link, and y'all can share the link, share the pictures for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is my album of edited pictures. I still have about, 600 to go through. And a lot of them are HDRs and just playful images, just stuff that I shot around town.
Let's look at these.
Oh, you've got it up, Ricardo. Okay. Okay, so we've got them on Ricardo's window.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at that. New York.
That's great tones right there. Wow, we lost. He didn't have to.
So
He didn't share anything, and he got kicked out anyways. The system just knew that he had shared something. So.
wow, that's funny. He was.
Whoa!
What is going on?
Oh, we lost Keith.
Who do we lose
No
now?
one who has anything to say about New York can stay in the chat. Anybody else? I said I have pictures, but I'm not going to show them, so I got to stay.
Oh, wow. Geez.
Oh, that's great.
You know, when it rains, it pours.
You know, this wouldn't happen if we had Chi Chu on this hangout.
No, it wouldn't.
We could also get 20 people in the hangout if we wanted to, then.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
no
gorgeous.
Where is this? Do you know where this is?
I have no clue.
I need
obviously it's in New York.
I need Vivienne's phone number to
There
try
we
to call
go.
her on the phone.
Daniel, where is this?
Is it on her Facebook profile, maybe?
That's in Rockefeller Center. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, that's in Rockefeller Center when you first go in for the tour.
I wonder if Vivienne's on Skype. But I guess Skype wouldn't work for me because my microphone's used for this. Where's Keith?
Keith fell out too. That's what we were like. They all dropped like flies. Daniel went, and then Keith went.
I wonder. I wonder if we're no longer than broadcasting through Keith.
I don't think we're live.
No, there's Keith.
Yeah, I got kicked out.
You got kicked out.
I got kicked out with a Google server failure.
Yeah, I had the same message.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if we should just restart the hangout to try to get. I hate to do that. Do we? I used to have part 1 and part 2.
You can replace your after show with it, not have an after show.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what I'm going to try to do because I don't know what else to do. I haven't gotten a phone number from Vivienne.
The other thing is I was trying to tell you is I can connect the Skype call into the Hangout.
Ooh.
So
yeah, but we don't know Vivienne's
right
phone number.
Yeah, we need info.
Did you look on Facebook already?
You know what? If we can't give this camera away, I'm keeping it.
That's not fair.
Can I borrow it? Can we give it away?
You already have one.
That's right.
I want to borrow it. You give it away.
I wonder how we're going to give the camera away tonight. Has anybody thought about that?
Whoever can get Vivienne to stay in the chat room will get the camera. The hangout.
Oh, Vivienne said she shared her phone number, so let's see. Let me check. See if she.
They're saying in the chat that Thomas.
I got it. Okay, I'm going to try to call her on the phone.
They're saying in the chat that Thomas is avoiding giving away the camera.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a camera. The hangout's going to end just when he's ready to give it away, and
then he'll blame it on the server.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if this works. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Can you guys hear that?
You can hear it great.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I've done this before. It actually does work well sometimes.
Hello?
Vivienne,
Hi.
can you hear us?
Yeah.
You can.
We can hear her fine.
You can hear her fine?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Let's do it.
Technical difficulties. Huh?
Yeah. You know, I had no problem at all last night when I was on the Photoshop show, but everyone else was having some sort of problem. So I guess my turn was up tonight.
I guess so.
Everybody got failed, so it wasn't her.
I blame Vincent Moe for these sorts of problems. I think, him or Dave Cohen, one of the two of them. So, anyways, well, we are glad to have you back, and let's see if we can do it this way, do the interview this way. So, so if it works, we don't get to see you, but I think we can still share your pictures. Which, first of all, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? You're a New York photographer. How did you get into photography? What's your background? How long have you been shooting? Tell us some of that.
So that's kind of a crazy story. Basically, I have only been shooting for 2 years. I wasn't into photography at all prior to 2 years ago. I do come from kind of a semi-artsy background, I guess. I did go to school for art history at one point a very long time ago. But I really wasn't doing anything remotely related to photography. I just kind of started taking photos, just kind of as like a method to relieve stress, because I had gone back to school after getting laid off from my job. And so I started taking photos just kind of as a way to document my walks and things that I was seeing on my walks. And I wanted to put them online to kind of keep like my own scrapbook of photos. And I had absolutely no aspiration of, sharing them in any major way other than just kind of putting them somewhere. So I started a Tumblr and I started putting my photos online. And it was really, really strange. A lot of people just started following my Tumblr randomly. And, several other very odd things happened. I got contacted by a blog from the New York Times after I started posting my photography, via Flickr actually. And they wanted me to also do photo essays for them. And it was kind of strange because I was going back to school for, actually for pre-med. So I kind of was completely flabbergasted by everything that was happening right around the time when I started posting my photos online. And I don't know, one thing led to another, and here I am today. I'm doing photography full time. It's strange to kind of relate it. It's only been 2 years, but I feel like so many very, very crazy things have happened in the last 2 years regarding my photography. But that's like the short summary. Reading a lot of things out.
So pretty new to photography. Do you still keep that Tumblr site?
Yeah, actually, my main website still points to Tumblr. I just kept it because I do really like the Tumblr community. I know a lot of people have a lot of problems with Tumblr, but I feel like it's such a different audience, and I've kind of built up a very odd, large following there prior to coming on to like Facebook and Google Plus, so my main website points to my Tumblr still.
They're basically thieves, right, over there at Tumblr?
Yeah, they're all thieves.
I'm joking.
It's okay. I support thievery.
I'm just kidding. So so we're sharing some of your photos here right now. Can you see those, the ones that we're sharing?
You know what? I didn't even reopen a browser, so let me reopen.
That's not going to kill your phone. It's not going to kill your phone line if you open your browser, is it?
Yeah, no.
Okay, good. Good, just checking. And you said you shot with a Sony. You shoot with a Sony?
I do shoot with a Sony now. When I first started, I actually was just shooting with a random point-and-shoot camera that I got for $79 because I didn't have even $100 to spend on a camera. And so for the first 6 months or so, pretty much all the photographs that I posted online were from that camera. And then I upgraded to a Lumix, which was, well, it's kind of a bridge camera, or what I guess some people would call a bridge camera. And then about 7 or 8 months ago, I got my Sony. So I'm still pretty new to the Sony as well, because Sony is like my first major camera that's not a bridge camera or a point-and-shoot. So.
Okay, nice. Well, I know our panelists have some questions for you too, right, guys?
Yeah, I was wondering what part of town that was in. Is that Koreatown or is that Chinatown that we're looking at?
That's Chinatown. That's actually a street in Chinatown called Sawyer Street. I live in Lower Manhattan, so I live on the Lower East Side, so I'm pretty much always in Chinatown because a lot of my favorite food is there. And actually one of my favorite noodle shops is right at the end of the street. And so I have an inordinate amount of photos of this one block. I just really love the history of the block, and I love the angle and the curve and pretty much everything about it. But yeah, that's in Chinatown.
Well, what's the name of that noodle shop?
It's called something like the #1 Noodle Shop. The best noodle shop. It's just like a random name. But it's at the very end of the block, and they're amazing. They're actually they're hand-pulled noodles, and they're really, really good. So if you're ever in New York and you're looking for some really great noodles, I do highly suggest it.
I had lunch there with Smooth Dude.
Yeah, actually, he shared with me a picture that he had of the same block. He had gone through my photos and saw my pictures of Sawyer Street. And I think he also shared the picture he took of you on the street as well, Thomas, which was pretty funny.
Have you had lunch at the new Malaysia there?
No.
It's wonderful. You've got to try it. That's where Smooth Dude took us to lunch. It's wonderful. But we're getting off subject. Okay, who's got some more questions for Vivienne?
I just wanted to comment back on that picture about the narrowness of the street and the width of the sidewalks just does not look like New York at all, you know? New York is known for their wide sidewalks and their big, vast streets and avenues. And I didn't get a chance to visit Chinatown when I was there. It just really seems like you're in another place. It's really cool.
Yeah, I really love that. I think one of the things I really love about the whole process of sharing photos, especially of a city like New York City, where a lot of people have definite views of what they think New York City is, and usually that's a lot of it's the skyline, it's Times Square, it's a lot of the more popular imagery. I really enjoy kind of just showing what I see in my everyday travels, which I think a lot of people don't necessarily associate with New York City, but for me and for a lot of other people that live here, it's definitely more New York City than maybe the more popular photos or photos of more popular places.
Sure. Now, Vivienne, back to those noodles again. Are they like the really wide noodles, or are they like the skinny kind?
They have they're actually wide, and they're the kind that they pull by hand.
Oh, I'm getting hungry right now.
They pull them out by hand, and they actually like pass them across the counter, and it's this whole crazy spectacle. They also have the nice peeled noodles. I don't know if you guys know about that, but these are a little bit thinner, and they have glass noodles, and you can get them with, there's like seriously 4 or 5 pages.
Glass noodles? Really? Okay, who is the graffiti artist in this picture? Do you know?
The graffiti artist is, oh my god, I can't believe I'm forgetting this.
I can't believe I'm forgetting his name either, because he's done stuff in San Francisco.
I know, it's
with Eddie Cola.
Oh my god, it starts with a G. Let me look this up.
He does those crazy birds.
I'm blanking out on this.
It's Gaia or Gaia. Gaia, right? Right? It's Gaia.
Yep.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, this was actually, this one mural by him is one of my favorites that I've ever seen.
It's beautiful.
Because I've never seen anything quite like it. I mean, it's got like this whole coronavirus Bosch thing going on in the background, and you know, there's a rooster, and there's a lot of death. I mean, you can't really see the finer detail, but what's in the background is basically this apocalyptic image of corpses and all sorts of crazy stuff. But this was actually only up for a very short time in the neighborhood, and then it got painted over. It's on a wall that belongs to a very kind of expensive store, and they just basically redo the murals every 2 or 3 months.
So this was a legal mural?
Yeah, I think they paid him actually to put it up there.
Wow.
And then they took it down and somebody else has the mural up.
New York does have some amazing street art. I mean, some of the best in the world. But it's not always legal, is it?
No.
That's okay, though.
But actually, it's very strange because in the neighborhood that I took this in, which is Nolita, north of Little Italy, kind of bordering the East Village, there are 2 very prominent places. That's one of them. And then there's another one, like a wall that basically gets commissioned out like it's a gallery. So a lot of street artists show their stuff there, and it kind of changes every 3 or 4 months. But
now, do you sell prints if people want to buy prints of this stuff?
Oh yeah, everything is on my SmugMug.
SmugMug. All right. Well, we like SmugMug.
Hey, Thomas?
Yeah.
Larry Anderson in the chat room would like to know what photographers inspire her.
Good question. Did you hear?
That's a really strange question, and it's kind of one that I feared would get asked. And, you know, I didn't really want to go out of my way and kind of think about it too much. You know, as I said, I didn't really come to photography with any kind of aspirations to become a photographer, so I didn't really have a crazy background of, you know, I've wanted to do this all my life, and I really admired this photographer and that photographer. So, kind of like a lot of the photography that I've seen in the past 2 years has been just, you know, people I've met online who have huge online presences, or other things that I've kind of run across in my travels. So, you know, I do like Alfred Stieglitz. I like a lot of style photography. So like Alfred Stieglitz, Bernice Abbott is another, you know, photographer that I really, really admire. But in terms of modern photographers, I mean, other than the amazing people I've come across on Google Plus and people that I've seen on Flickr, honestly, I couldn't even rattle off names.
Now you went on that Flickr photo walk the other day, didn't you?
I did.
How was that? Tell us about that.
I actually took no pictures whatsoever.
Really?
Yeah. You know, we all kind of met on the High Line, and there were a lot of people, and Marcus was there from Flickr, and I just started talking to him, and we talked the whole way, like the whole walk. We kind of lost the group at one point, and so we just kept talking, and I took absolutely no photos.
Wow, did you get
a lot of fun.
Did you get an autograph from him?
I didn't get an autograph, so we sat and we ate together, and you know, we had a lot of fun talking about Flickr and about photography. So Marcus
is actually a really nice guy. I haven't had the best luck with Flickr, but But I've gotten to know Marcus a little bit more recently. We had lunch the other day as well. So here's what I want to know. Here's what I want to know, Vivienne. The color in your photographs. I mean, more than anything, to me, what sort of sets your stuff apart. And we're looking at this one right now with this red brick and.
You're saying the same thing I was thinking.
Is that right, Ricardo?
That's really special, you know.
That's because I can read your mind. Anyways, the color that you come up with in your photographs, time and time again. I don't know. Is this in camera? Is this processing? Is it? I mean, obviously, it's probably a combination of both. But where do you get your colors from? How do you do this?
So, okay, that's an even crazier explanation. I saw that you went to one of my photos from Central Park with the sunbeams over the lake with the boats.
Right.
That particular photo was actually taken via my point and shoot.
Wow.
Early on. And it's kind of funny because a lot of the photos that I took with that camera I have been used commercially now and get licensed for a lot of things. Which is why I tell people that camera absolutely does not matter at all. You know, the equipment doesn't matter. Don't even worry about it. But that particular photo and a lot of the earlier photos were done just basically manipulating the settings in the point and shoot to a point that I was actually getting the effect that I wanted. Because, a lot of times I'm really, really focused on light. And I really, really love, the play of particularly like natural sunlight in the city, doing really spectacular things. So I really kind of had to find a way to work with the limited means I had with the camera at the time, to kind of really, I like to say, piss out the light.
Yeah.
So that particular photo, that was definitely the result of me trying to work with the camera. And also, up until about a month ago, I was only using GIMP because I didn't have money for pretty much anything else. So, with GIMP, GIMP has a rather unfriendly interface. But basically, I spent a lot of time working with GIMP, trying to figure out the ins and outs of how to get things to what I wanted it to look like. So a lot of my photos were actually processed using GIMP.
Wow, that's amazing. Really?
It wasn't until recently, actually, that I just got Lightroom like a month ago and color effects, which is amazing. I tell everybody that going from GIMP to Lightroom and color effects was like going from the Stone Age to being in the Matrix, because it really is such a jump in terms of ease of use. But yeah. A lot of my earlier photos are basically just GIMP and me messing around with my camera to kind of get the results that I was trying to get.
Daniel Enloe, who's on the show tonight, is a huge fan of GIMP. That's all he's used for years.
So, Thomas, Ricardo Williams in the chat room is asking, does she do a lot of post-processing with your photos?
I'm not going to sit here and say no. I do a lot of post-processing. I'm really into layers. I think because I came from a background where I was really into painting, primarily as an art form. And also my father was a painter, my uncle was a painter, so I kind of grew up around that sort of artistic sensibility. I kind of approach photography that way. I kind of view every photo as a painting, if that makes any sense. So a lot of times I'm kind of trying to evoke the mood that I was feeling when I was looking at a particular scene by manipulating tones and kind of really intensifying the light that was there.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, really.
Gorgeous.
So, do you take a lot of pictures outside of New York, or just primarily in New York City?
Just primarily in New York City for now. I haven't had the money to travel. I'm hoping that one day I will. And sure, if I was able to go anywhere else, I would definitely be taking photos in other cities. But for right now, my focus is just on New York City because that's where I am. So.
And so, are you working full time as a photographer?
I am. Actually, last year was the first year that I did that. I am doing that. It's a lot of work. It's been really hard because, my primary, photography is, I guess, I don't even know what you would classify it as, fine art. I'm not even sure. So, it's taken a lot of work to get to the point that I'm at. And also, I do freelance work I'm still doing freelance work for the Times for the East Village section. So, that's like a whole other kind of photography where I don't get to actually, do that much processing because it's journalistic. But yeah.
Right.
I saw that somebody asked what made me decide to shoot with a Sony. It was price. I don't really have any allegiance to Sony. I'm not like some diehard Sony person. But I do really, really, really love the camera that I have. I'm using a Sony A55. And actually, I went on a New York City photo walk, and Daniel was there, and I met Jeff Moreau, who's also from Google+, and he had the Sony A77. And I got to hold it and play with it. It was really, really great. So I'm definitely kind of lusting after the A77 now. But, I'm not using Sony because I have some kind of crazy, Sony love.
Would you ever consider Canon or Nikon?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I would.
So you're pretty much camera agnostic completely. It's like whatever's a good deal and all of that.
Pretty much.
Okay, now let's get back to those noodles. Are there sauces that go with them? No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
You should send him some photos of noodles later.
Yeah.
I like the way that every time I'm on this show, I'm talking about food. I think the last time I was on is like the panelists that was talking about the taco trucks. Somehow I always end up there.
I can't help it if I get hungry. So we're looking right now at this Domino's Sugar building. Is that an abandoned building?
It is abandoned. It has a whole story. I actually took this photo from the park all the way on the other end of the river with, I think this one I took with my Lumix. The Lumix has this unbelievable, crazy zoom functionality that's kind of wild. But yeah, I took it from, I think, the East River Park. It's an abandoned sugar factory that I believe people are trying to bulldoze over and turn into condos and kind of develop that part of the waterfront in Brooklyn.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Sort of a shame, but
yeah, have you ever been inside?
no, I haven't. I just went on my first kind of like vaguely urban exploration adventure last weekend with a bunch of people from New York from Google+. And we went to this ship graveyard. I'm still like going through the photos from it. But like that completely made us want to go into all of these crazy abandoned warehouses and factories now. So we've been trying to coordinate. I don't know. I would love to get in there though. I'm not really sure how possible it is, but we'll see.
Right. Sometimes you just got to kind of make your own way. I did some abandoned shooting myself last weekend, and I brought Sly Vegas with me, and I kept trying to get him to come into this place. And I said, Sly, come on, let's go, come on. And he would not go in. He was like afraid because he said, no, that's trespassing. We don't go in.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We don't go in there, anything like that. So, anyways, I'm joking.
A question for Vivienne.
I'm joking completely. I'm sorry. Back to Vivienne. Yes, the questions. Go ahead, Lotus.
Sergey asked if she's ever had scary experiences photographing in bad neighborhoods.
No. I can honestly say no, I haven't. There's a series of photos that I took in an alley. I'm not sure if you'll be able to find them, but every time I post them, people think it's the scariest scene in the world. And I think, like, at one point somebody commented, oh, you're so brave, I can't believe you did that. They're night pictures in this really crazy-looking alley. And actually, it's an alley that leads to a restaurant, and there's actually no danger whatsoever. But I seem to have this like knack for making things look a lot more gritty than they actually are. But yeah, I definitely know. I mean, I guess last weekend when we were at the abandoned ship graveyard, that was like the closest I came to kind of, being in a place that was definitely not fit for humans walking around. But we had a great time.
So April asked if you shoot by yourself.
I do sometimes shoot by myself. Sometimes I'm with my boyfriend. He's really patient. He's not a photographer, but I mean, he enjoys walking around with me, and so sometimes I'm with him, usually for like night shots. But usually I'm alone.
Vivienne, can you see this graffiti shot that I just put up on screen that you've got?
Yeah.
Tell us about this. How beautiful is that?
So this is actually taken, this is one of the ones that was taken with my point and shoot. It's taken from the Manhattan Bridge pedestrian walkway.
Wow.
Basically, as you walk over the bridge, you get these amazing views of Chinatown and the rooftops above Chinatown, which is where this is. So these are basically the roofs of like very old tenement buildings that are very close to the bridge. And it's kind of a difficult place to shoot from because even though the view is really nice, there's a huge guard fence and like a security fence as well. And then there's this tiny little space in between that, you can kind of shove a camera lens in. And the bridge also shakes a lot from the subway train cars that go over it, as well as the traffic. So if you're there on a windy day, with all the vibrations, it's kind of crazy to try to get really, really solid shots. But yeah, it's a really good place to shoot.
Now, how often do you shoot?
I pretty much shoot maybe at this point, probably. Okay, well, I injured my leg in the fall, so things kind of changed. But before that, I was shooting pretty much every day or every other day. At this point, I'm probably up to like 3 times a week or 4 times a week. And then if I have like jobs to do, I obviously will be out shooting, on the way there, at the job, and then on the way back. So I shoot fairly often.
Do you take a lot of photos? Do you take a few photos? Are you careful and meticulous with what you take? Do you come back with 1,000 photos?
I used to take tons and tons of photos. I would say that things kind of changed maybe 6 or 7 months ago. I can't really pinpoint what it is that changed, but I've gotten really selective about what I shoot now. I feel like I kind of have more of a feel for what I'm actually looking for, as opposed to when I first started shooting, where I would kind of like take photos of everything that I thought was amazing or interesting without really thinking too deeply about it. So while I do kind of shoot spontaneously, I definitely am very selective about what I am shooting. So, like for example, this past weekend, I think I came home with something like 300 photos, and we went to the abandoned ship graveyard, and then we drove all the way into Red Hook, Brooklyn, where I think I posted a photo that I took there in Red Hook today, actually. So we were in 2 different places, and I came back with 300 photos. And probably, a year ago, if I had been out shooting, I probably would have come home with like 1,000. So it's definitely changed. I do take a lot fewer photos now.
Well, that's good. I take way too many, but that's just me. Now, we do have to, at this point, we're going to come back and we're going to have more Q&A with you, Vivienne. But we do have this little thing that we have to do tonight, which is called a camera giveaway for a 5D Mark II. And I think I've seen mentioned in the chat room at least 20 times that we should just give it to you.
Yeah.
but we actually are going to give it away. And you know, the interesting thing is I picked the trivia question that I was going to ask tonight earlier today when I was thinking about it. And you actually gave part of the answer to the trivia question tonight, or a possible part, believe it or not. And so we are going to give it away, and here's how this works. So is everybody in the chat room ready? So you have to be in the chat room to win. Yes, the question is not about noodles.
And you have to have SmugMug circled.
Right, so you have to have SmugMug circled. So if everybody, if you have not circled SmugMug, Lotus, can you put SmugMug's link in the chat room?
Yeah, I did it a second ago. I'll do it again right now.
Go ahead and do it again, because Lotus is going to check. She's going to check your stream afterwards to make sure they're circled. And we're going to get into the trivia question. And the trivia question tonight has to do with fine art photography. And it also has to do with the value of photography. And here we go. The question is, give us the last names of 3 photographers who have had the highest price sold photographs at auction in the history of photography. We need 3 names. 3 last names of photographers. And not Hawk is not one. Okay.
Google search is about to blow up.
I think we have a winner. We have a winner. Cameron Cruz. Cameron Cruz. I just saw that. Gursky, Sherman, and Steichen.
Okay, what's the... now I need to know the G+ handle so I can check and see if they have SmugMug circled.
Okay,
Cameron, hurry up and circle that.
Cameron
S. Cruz.
Cameron S. Cruz. Cameron S. Cruz. Can you give us a link to your Google Plus account so that Lotus can check?
Cameron Siguenza. Siguenz.
Okay, everybody's coming up with the names now. Gursky, Andreas Gursky. Rhine 2 was the highest auction photograph in the history of photography in November last year. $4.3 million. Can you believe that?
There it is, right there.
It's Cameron. I didn't know it was him. I didn't know that was his handle. Okay, cool.
You can off the first
all right, give me a second.
Take a look at Cameron's.
Cameron Siguenza. Oh, okay, so Cameron.
Yeah, that's who it is. I didn't realize that was his handle.
Is he following SmugMug? Our good friends.
Hold on a second. It takes a second. It doesn't just tell me if he's following SmugMug. I have to scroll.
Hurry up, Lotus.
Bite me.
So you can filter.
Yeah, he is.
You can filter.
He is?
Oh, Eric did my job.
He is.
All right, Cameron.
Daniel did my job.
You are the winner of a
Good Cameron.
courtesy of our good friends at SmugMug.
There it is. It's proof if you need it.
All right, Cameron. So we're gonna want to see some
3 of these,
pictures
though.
taken with that camera.
Daniel, we're gonna hire you.
I think Cameron has like 3 of these cameras already, though.
Does he?
No, I'm just kidding.
No. All right. Well, congratulations.
Cameron's actually a local photographer. He lives down Santa Cruz.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. He comes up to the city and shoots up here all the time.
Good. Cameron, and I'll be waiting for my check for $500 like we talked about. No, I'm joking. I'm totally joking. So anyways, at this point, we are going to end the official broadcast of the show, but we are going to come back for more question and answer with Vivienne. So come on back. Stay here. If you refresh my screen, I'm going to send an invite to everybody here in the chat room. And we'll be right back. And those of you that are watching live, come on back, and we'll have more questions with Vivienne. So thanks for another great episode, episode 14, to everyone involved.
Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And we'll see you in a few seconds.
Good night.